with the screaming headlines by striking against Sahu within the Congress hierarchy in the national capital.
The views expressed in this blog are hosted on my own website, are strictly personal and do not reflect the views of any organization.
Hello and welcome friends once again to Straight Bat, my weekly video blog where, as the title suggests, I comment with a straight bat. Now, till a few days ago, very few would have recognized or heard of Dheeraj Sahu. Even those who covered national politics would scarcely have recognized him. And I'm sure most of you who are watching, the name Dheeraj Sahu would not have rung a bell till a few days ago. That is, until the Income Tax Department raided the offices and residence of Dheeraj Sahu's businesses, and suddenly more than 350 crore cash, according to the IT department sources, has come tumbling out. You can see all the wads of notes on videos, and now Sahu is front page headlines. In fact, the Narendra Modi government has gone ahead and used the Sahu case to target the Gandhi family and Rahul Gandhi in particular, accusing them of being part of a corrupt cash machine. News media also typically has gone into overdrive with the screaming headlines. But amidst the noise, here is the question that I hope to answer on the straight bat. Who really is Dheeraj Sahu? And more importantly, who really is he funding? Whose cash is that we saw stashed away in those videos? Presenting a few key points. Number one, as a three-time Rajya Sabha MP from Jharkhand, first time through a by-election in 2010 and then again in 2013, Dheeraj Sahu has strong links with the Congress party which he represents in the Rajya Sabha. A senior Congress leader from Jharkhand claims that Sahu was to be denied a ticket in 2018. But he reportedly managed to get his Rajya Sabha nomination at the very last moment with the help of a few key people within the Congress hierarchy in the national capital. Among his benefactors, a key benefactor is someone who is no longer alive and held the purse strings of the Congress for a very long time. Interestingly, some of the others who also helped him have now switched to the BJP. Just what this deal that Sahu struck with these individuals is not clear. But the senior Congress leader I spoke to makes it clear, sir, there was definitely a cash deal struck. Sahu's aides, of course, deny this. They claim that this is a family that has been associated with the Congress for many years and he was being rewarded for his loyalty. In fact, the Jharkhand leaders tell me even when Mr. Sahu has funded the party, it has been only in a few lakhs, not in crores. The truth, as ever, my friends, lies somewhere in between. You see, Dheeraj Sahu would be right when he claims that his family has been associated with the Congress for a long time. His father, Rai Sahib Baldev Sahu, was a freedom fighter and the one who set up this family empire in Lohardaga in Jharkhand. His brother, Shiv Prasad Sahu, is a former Lok Sabha MP of the Congress. Dheeraj himself was with the NSUI, the Congress's student wing, in the late 1970s. So let's be clear. Congress is the party most closely associated with the Sahu family and therefore cannot distance itself from their Rajya Sabha MP. But, and this but is where it gets really interesting, the Sahu family's business interests are now less in Jharkhand and more in Odisha. You see, while the family has been involved in multiple businesses over the years in Jharkhand, including real estate, hotels, hospitals, fisheries, transportation, the cash cow of the Sahu business empire lies in neighboring Odisha, where the family's business in the last 25 years has revolved around liquor. And this liquor business is headquartered not in Jharkhand but in Odisha. It was in 1994-95 that the family got into the liquor business by getting a license in Odisha to set up a major distillery. That license has been renewed every year for the last 25 years. This distillery business comes under the Baud Distillery Private Limited and has kept expanding and now controls a large market share in Odisha. Point number 4. Remember that the Congress has not been in power in Odisha since the late 1990s. The state for the last 2.5 decades has been dominated by the Biju Janata Dal. It is interesting, therefore, that a Congress MP from Jharkhand should expand his business not in a Congress-ruled state, but in a state where the Congress is in the opposition. Which leads one to ask the central question: who is the benefactor of the Sahus in business, the Congress or the Biju Janata Dal? A local journalist in Odisha tells me that Sahu has built a strong political network across party lines, but especially with the ruling Biju Janata Dal. Don't forget, it is the BJD government in Odisha which kept renewing Sahu's liquor license in the state. The 350 crore cash seized are seen to be mainly in connection, remember, with his liquor sales and businesses in Odisha. Which brings me to my next question. If Dheeraj Sahu and his family have been in this liquor business for the last 25 years, why has the income tax department chosen this moment to strike? Please note, liquor has always been a paisa business, a cash-rich business. In fact, on a recent trip during the elections to Telangana, I met someone associated with the liquor industry who told me that many of the candidates in states like Telangana were being propped up by the liquor and real estate barons. In fact, the buzz in Telangana was candidates across parties were spending more than 30 crores per constituency, most of it in cash. Real estate and liquor were funding the campaign there and possibly in some other states too. Which brings me to my next question. If the Sahus were in the cash-rich liquor trade for years, why have they not been exposed until now? This is where the election cycle becomes important. Remember, next year is a general election year, but it's also an assembly election year in Odisha. Liquor is expected to be a key funder in this election cycle. By striking against Sahu, a message therefore has been sent to the entire liquor industry that the IT department is closely watching their moves and just who they are funding at election time. Recall how a few months ago, before the Chhattisgarh election, there was a buzz that key figures close to the Congress Chief Minister there, Bhupesh Baghel, had been raided and their income sources had been frozen. Similar moves were made in Rajasthan too by the Enforcement Directorate and the Income Tax Department ahead of the elections there. Clearly, opposition-ruled states at the moment are vulnerable. It was Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan a few months ago. It is now Odisha. So is Sahu the only one in the Rajya Sabha with the IT and ED inquiries against him? Nope, certainly not. You may recall how in June 2019, within a month of the general elections being won by the Narendra Modi government, CM Ramesh and YS Chaudhary, two of the four Telugu Desam party members who crossed over to the BJP then, were industrialists who were under the scanner of the IT and ED department. In fact, in 2018, the BJP spokesperson and Rajya Sabha MP GVL Narasimha Rao had described them as the Andhra Malias and called for immediate and suitable action against them. Well, once the duo switched to the BJP, guess what? The action against them visibly slowed down. This might fit in with a pattern where a number of our politicians who are under the scanner, the moment they switch sides, the inquiry against them suddenly slows down. Just take a look at what's happening in Maharashtra, where a number of those who switched loyalties in the last year suddenly are no longer, it appears, under the enforcement department's gaze. It's being described by the opposition as the BJP's washing machine syndrome. So here are the two intriguing questions I want to leave you with today. If Dheeraj Sahu is widely believed to have had his political interests firmly in the Congress and his business interests with the Biju Janata Dal, whose cash is it that he was holding, hoarding, and seemingly distributing? The second question, weren't we told in 2016 when demonetization was declared that the entire aim was to end the cash economy? Are we then to believe that cash, sabse bada rupaiya, is well and truly back? And if so, what really did demonetization achieve when it comes to breaking that crucial nexus between cash and electoral politics? Think about it. That was the Straight Bat. Do, of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel for many more such videos. For now, stay well, stay safe. Jai Hind. Namaskar.